If you don't think they're serious now, what is it going to take? What's up, everybody? I'm Quisha King. Welcome back to my channel, and today we're talking about right here in Duval County, Jacksonville, Florida. The DCPS, Duval County Public School System, put out this lovely support guide here. Of course, we do not condone bullying, harming children, harassment, any of those things. We don't support any violence against any human being at all. Never, ever. It is not okay to do. However, we do not also support public school systems lifting up particular groups while others seem to be silent. The Duval County Public School System put out this LGBTQ plus support guide, where it says on the bottom, every school, every classroom, every student, every day. Every school, every classroom, every student, every day. If it is not clear to you where their intentions lie, if it's not clear to you what they plan on teaching, I don't know how much clearer they need to be. So in this guide is a letter from our superintendent, Diane Green, and her remarks say, regardless of their sexual orientation, gender identity, or gender expression, every student should feel safe in every one of our schools every day. These are rights that are protected by our school board policies and rights that affirm our commitment to mental health and academic wellness. Environments that are safe, welcoming, and inclusive increase morale, motivation, and learning for all students on our campuses. Parents and caregivers send their children to school with the expectation they will be free from harassment, bullying, and discrimination. To that end, we have policies and procedures in place to protect our students from discrimination, harassment, sexual harassment, and retaliation. We all deserve to feel comfortable expressing our identities. Still, local, regional, and national surveys show that lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, and questioning students continually experience verbal and physical harassments or threats, resulting in absenteeism, failure in school, depression, and even suicidal ideation. Although progress has been made to bring attention to some of the negative outcomes for LGBTQ students, there is still room to grow. That's why we're presenting the Duval County Public Schools LGBTQ Support Guide. This guide will support our educational community in fulfilling the rights each of us has to be affirmed, protected, and respected. This guide will also support the responsibility we have to be affirming, protective, and respectful of our students. Thank you for being an integral part of our commitment to excellence reflected in the success of every student, wherever she may come from, however he identifies, whoever they want to be. Signed by our superintendent, Diane Green. So in this guide, Diane and the school board and everyone who was integral in putting this together, it lays out the mission statement, and basically it's crafted around the idea of bullying and harassment and those types of things. So obviously, no one condones bullying, harassment, any of those things. But I don't believe that bullying, harassment, or any of those things are specific to one group of people. I don't understand why we can't say all people need to be respected. All people, no one needs to be harassed. No one needs to be bullied. Everyone deserves respect, and everybody needs to be treated like a human being. I'm not sure why we have to pick certain groups to apply this rule to. So that's my first problem. My other problem is that your child could be going through something and you would have no right to know. So in the guide, it says talking to parents or guardians. As stated above, several federal courts have held the Constitution prohibits government officials from disclosing information about a person's gay, lesbian, or bisexual orientation except under limited circumstances. The expression of sexual orientation is an innately personal choice. Therefore, just as teachers and school administrators cannot discourage a student from being out at school, they also cannot encourage or even force a student to be out at home. It is up to the student and the student alone. It is up to the student and the student alone. That includes kindergartners, first graders, second graders, third graders, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th. It is up to the students alone to decide where and when to be open about his or her LGBTQ plus status. Thus, care should be taken regarding incautious disclosures, and always remain aware of your legal duty to report suspicions of child abuse or neglect to the Department of Children and Families. So it says, if a teacher, school counselor, or administrator is asked questions, an appropriate response to the parent. If a teacher, school counselor, or administrator is asked these questions, an appropriate response to the parent may be, based on policy and federal guidelines, I cannot divulge whether your child and I have had any such confidential conversations, as even students are legally afforded rights of privacy. You should further suggest the parent speak directly to their child, or suggest the parent contact the local parents, family, and friends of lesbian and gays. Chapter, where you do not have to be certain of your child's sexual orientation to ask questions or attend the meeting. And on the last page, or no, I'm sorry, on the one of the pages in the back, this is the form that the teacher or administrator would ask the children, and this is confidential. So it says, the United States Department of Education and the United States Department of Justice interpret Title IV to require that when a student or the student's parent or guardian notifies the school administration that the student will assert a gender identity that differs from previous representations or records, the school will begin treating the student consistent with the student's gender identity. Upon notification of a transgender or gender nonconforming student's status, school staff should complete a transgender/gender nonconforming support in collaboration with the student and parent/guardian, if aware, only if aware, to provide guidance to school staff on how to support the child at school. Reminder, a student's gender identity should never be disclosed without their consent, even to a parent or guardian. So your child may be transitioning, maybe, who knows, who knows how far this could be taken at school. And the school has no right, according to them, to let this be known to parents. So so basically we are to feed them, clothe them, shelter them, do no harm to them, of course, take them to extracurricular activities, but any type of information that could be pertinent to their health, pertinent to major changes that a kindergartner, a first grader might be trying to make on their own, you are told to sit down, shut up, we'll take it from here. You're not to be involved. You are not to be considered. You are not to even be told if your preschooler or kindergartner, first grader, second grader has decided, I don't know, they may have saw one of their friends do it and decided, you know what, I want to do that too. I'm a girl, but I really want to be a boy. And no one has to tell you. In fact, what they will then do is encourage that child to, affirm that child's decision. There will be no discussion of, okay, Johnny, maybe that's not, the right thing for you to do, or are you sure? That's not going to happen. If the child says so, the school has the right, according to them, to affirm their decisions. So your 6-year-old can make a decision on if they want to change their gender. This is what the law is now saying. parents, you have no business interfering with your 6-year-old, your 5-year-old's decision to transition into another gender. That's none of your business. Feed them, clothe them, shelter them. Don't neglect them. Don't abuse them. Anything outside of that we'll handle. We'll handle their medical decisions. We will handle their gender decisions. You are not allowed to participate in this process. Okay, got it? Thanks, Pumpkin. This is where we are. This is where our officials believe they have the power to bypass parents and raise your children for you. You don't have the right to instill your own values into your children. The state will take care of that for you. Now, if you do something to them that they deem is not appropriate, they have the right to come into your home and take your child from you. So you have to feed them, clothe them, shelter them, and provide a reasonable love and care for them. But other than that, your input is not needed. This is again why I'm calling for a mass exodus. A mass exodus is not to just leave the public school system. It is public school system reform, because at this point, leaving is the only thing that will make them pay attention. We have rallied, we've protested, we've written letters, we've emailed, we've gotten nowhere. We've been now called domestic terrorists, and we are to be put away with. We don't have any rights over our children really anymore. It's the state's job to do that. So again, I call you to stand with me. It is time that we remove our children from these toxic Marxist indoctrination camps, formerly known as schools. Because at this point, with the level of education that these children are coming out with, they don't deserve to be called schools. They're being educated on something else. This is not academics. Let me know what you guys think in the comments section below. As always, I am always glad to chat with you on these types of topics. This is very deeply concerning, and I think it's time we stand up and fight for our children. God bless you. Protect your children. They are our most precious natural resources. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.